We trust the lamb, not the donkey or the elephant.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little lightning round with you here.
Okay.
Ask you questions. So give the short answer, and then in a little bit we'll come back after we've talked about more of these ideas and see if you can justify what claims. I actually don't know how you're going to answer these, but let's
I'm
go.
nervous. I'm nervous,
Are you ready?
Patrick.
All right, Preston, would you pledge allegiance to the flag?
No.
Preston,
Wait, which flag?
the American flag.
No. I wouldn't pledge allegiance to any flag, and I would encourage any global Christian to not pledge allegiance to any national flag.
All right. Would you sing the national anthem?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Would I? Go ahead.
I would say let's just keep. We'll explain a little bit, right? I think this is fun. Okay, do you vote?
I do not. I have not voted in 15 years. No.
Okay, that was what I wasn't sure. I was like, I wonder if he's going to say this. This is good. Okay, do you think there's a place for patriotism?
It depends on the definition of patriotism.
Okay, we're going to come back to these.
Okay, good. Because I really don't like yes or no short questions. Have so many footnotes to all of those.
You're like, this is terrible. But I think it goes back to what you said earlier about the God and country question. Is we need to do some groundwork, lay some foundations, and then we can answer some of those questions. I just want people to keep listening. So that's why I'm asking you spicy questions, because now they have to find out why you do these crazy things. Okay. And dear listener, just know I too would not pledge allegiance to a flag. And you want to talk for a moment about when you see these allegiances come up. My daughter's school, which I love, it's a Christian school, but they do the Pledge of Allegiance like most schools do. And so I've been there when they've done it, and I don't do it. And it's hilarious. One time I was actually a speaker at their chapel, and the speaker's refusing to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And you want to talk about feeling really uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a good discomfort of reminding myself that, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, this isn't where my allegiance lies.
Yeah. I do stand during the Pledge of Allegiance. I do too. I put my hands behind my back. I don't do it on my heart. That is a symbolic gesture that signifies allegiance. It's the very term allegiance that I have a problem with. Just to be clear, I believe we should submit to government authorities. I believe we should seek the good of the city, Jeremiah 29. I believe in 1 Peter 2, 13-17, Romans 13, 1-7. You know, I'm very aware of those passages. None of those suggest that we should give our allegiance to anything other than Christ, especially to an empire. So I stand out of respect. The national anthem to me is a little bit less allegiance-y, you know? So when you ask that question, I hesitate because I'm like, could I? I would have less problem singing it than I would pledging allegiance. I would take a bullet. I'm not going to recite that. I just can't. Like it would be dishonest for me too, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I've experienced the same uncomfortable. I was in a setting where people they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and I literally heard Christians behind me murmur, like very upset that people were not pledging. And luckily, and I started getting nervous, and I was like, am I going to get attacked by Christians? And then luckily they didn't see that I wasn't, they kind of couldn't see my lips were there because I was standing there. Sometimes I recite the Lord's Prayer while people are reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I think Shane Claiborne gave me that idea. But
I like that idea. You started doing that.
It's about the same length. Yeah.
The people think I'm doing it. Well, and again, we'll get into this, but I think it's fascinating because, obviously the word allegiance has to do with the Greek word faith. Those are very similar terms. And so when we pledge our faith to Jesus in Greek terms, we're pledging our allegiance to him. And so I do think there's a conflict that we need to wrestle with. And even if it's just you and me out there not pledging allegiance to the flag, I think it's a witness to the fact that the powers and authorities of this world really aren't in charge, and they certainly aren't in charge of me. But I'm with you that I always stand, I always put my hands behind my back, I always want to show honor to the authorities. I don't do anything whatsoever to try to disrespect what's happening other than not participating, which obviously to some is disrespectful.
Right. And I think and we can get in this later maybe, I think the best way in which a Christian as part of an alternative ecclesia can be a citizen in the nation state is to maintain their robust allegiance to Jesus, is to embody an alternative political system within the church, to have a to embody God's view of immigration, of economic distribution, of hard work, of, all these kind of political questions that we wrestle with out there. I think as a church, we should be embodying that. And as a community, an alternative political community, we can best witness to the state how God wants people to live in his creation. So so it's not that this is where the patriotism question, which we can maybe get into. I think the best way for me to be a Christ-centered, Christ alone patriot, like a good citizen, is to...
You just call yourself a patriot and didn't think that was gonna happen.
Did I? Yeah, the best way. Let me be citizen. The best way I can be a good citizen in the country that I happen to be born into, which is now called the United States of America, is to maintain my distance from the empire. The closer I get, the more I get kind of like enmeshed into the empire. Then I believe I'm actually not being a good citizen from a 1 Peter 2, Romans 13 perspective.
I'm Patrick. Thanks for watching this video. If you're passionate about ending tribalism in the church and giving Jesus your allegiance, you're not alone. We have a podcast and a book. They're both called Truth Over Tribe. You can download the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can buy the book on Amazon. I hope you'll check them out.